I finally got a custom Sony DualSense controller from AimController. These individuals had an awesome sale going on during Black Friday, so I took advantage of that, and I thought I would purchase this thing and get it going. I've already kind of opened this box a little bit, but I wanted to get into the packaging and show you the experience that I experienced. You get the packing slip. We won't look at that in too much detail. You get an AimController brochure on other things and products that they offer. They do a really nice job at marketing their stuff, just basically by word of mouth and on social media. This thing has a lot of awesome things that you can purchase from them. They also include a quick instruction sheet on how to remap the 4 back paddles. There's one thing that I noticed here at the step 5 that says there's no light indicator on the remapping process. There is though, so I don't know what the thing is on or what the reasoning is behind that note. Packaging's really nice on this thing. They have you know, some nice embossed like stuff on the aim sticks, AimControllers.com on the front here. What the smart triggers are, because I went with a smart trigger option, another AimControllers.com, and then their logo up here, and also the website. So let's go ahead and get into the box and the packaging here. So they give you a little lanyard here. It says AimControllers.com. That's nice. One thing they did include in the packaging as well is a bunch of aim sticks. I'm not sure why they did this, but they're, you know, small, medium, and large, and they're all PlayStation based insofar as length. So you got some short ones, some medium ones, and then some long ones. I guess this is kind of to introduce you to the different lengths of these aim sticks, so you can purchase additional ones because they have accessories on their website and you can go that route. That's a nice touch, if I do say so myself, and it's also a smart marketing push to get you to purchase more replaceable aim sticks. One thing you will notice in the box here is that I did include in my purchase additional 2 sets of short Xbox sticks because I wanted to give it a shot. The way these fit into the bases is that there's these pentagon shapes and they're all, you know, tension. They're not magnetic. So as you push them in and take them out over time, I believe that could cause an issue. We'll talk more about that here shortly. These are the Xbox ones that I included. If you didn't include or didn't purchase additional ones, your controller would come with these not installed prior to it. So they would be sitting here, because I've watched some videos on it, and then the sticks, the bases here would be empty. But since I ordered some additional ones, they came installed on the controller. One thing I do want to mention right off of the rip is that I thought this neon orange was going to be more neon. It's more of a flat orange. And you can tell the difference between the thumbsticks. That's more of a neon that I was expecting, and that's the neon that it looks like it's going to come out as on the builder with the front shell panel on this design. So if I were to recommend to any of you, is that I probably wouldn't go with this faded, you know, front shell panel, because it's going to come out just like a flat orange and not be as vibrant as you would expect. So that's one downer, and that's probably one markdown that I would give them. I didn't do any button customizations with this build because I wanted to keep the cost down, nor did I do any customization to the touchpad. So all of these that you see in this video are OEM from Sony. I did do a different color on the trim because I wanted to accentuate the orange, but as you can see, there is a stark difference between the two. And in my opinion, it doesn't look that great, and that's probably one of the downsides. I wish it was more of a neon orange that was similar to what these thumbsticks and thumbstick bases were here. Next time I'll have to order something that's more of a soft touch, because this is more of a matte finish as well. So it can get a little bit slippery if you do have sweaty hands and whatnot. So with that said, let's go ahead and remove these aim sticks so we can look at the bases. These are really nice. They're well built and they feel nice. I do wish AimControllers did offer an increased thumbstick tension. That would just put icing on the cake with their design here. I do want to offer a recommendation with Thumbstick Selection on AimControllers Custom Builder if you are considering AimControllers for your custom build. With this, I would just go with the OEM thumbstick because you can't remove these anyways. And over time, as you add, you know, put this on and take it off, this tension has the potential to loosen, and you know, these could fall out. Right now it's brand new and I could see it just being fine. You know, changing them constantly, I could see that, you know, wearing down over time. Another thing that I'm not a super fan of is that how long they are. So let me grab a OEM controller and I'll show you the differences of what I'm talking about. As you look at these like head on, they look the same, but as you look a little bit closer, these are the shortest thumbsticks that they have available, but they're longer because of the design of the removable and replaceable, you know, customizable thing. I really like Sony's OEM thumbsticks. So I would recommend that you just leave these in. I know there's no price difference or anything like that, but in my recommendation and in my purchase experience, I would have just gone with the OEM. I know you can't change the color or anything, and that's a problem, but over time, I think you're gonna get better usage out of this than with this, and the life of the controller is probably gonna last longer with this in its place. So that's just my feedback there. Could take it for what it is, but I would have, if I were to do this build over again, I would have just left these OEM. Looking at the top of this controller, I did go with smart triggers on this. So it's a clickable action. Here is L2. Here is R2. Very consistent clicks, very minimal mouse clickiness here. I really, really like that. There are some things that you're gonna sacrifice with implementation or ordering this selection here. You're gonna lose all of the adaptive trigger actions or for games that take advantage of that on the PlayStation 5. So I only did this because I primarily play and use these controllers for first-person shooters. And that is the reason why I like these, because my reaction speed is much improved over the adaptive triggers on the PlayStation 5 DualSense, the standard one. If you are going to play any other games, I would say leave these alone and don't add them, because it adds an additional cost to your order, and just leave them as is, and you can have a really nice custom controller. Now on to the reason why you would want an AIM controller. These 4 back paddles, and these are the new AIM Back Pros that are available on their website now. They're a little bit different from the AIM backs because of the shape and the way these are implemented, and the trigger actions on these. They're all consistently the same and very, very clicky. I just went with the standard option to try to save some cost here, but I highly regret that decision. I wish I would have gone with the textured back here for added grippiness. I'm really not a fan of this, gloss stuff, but I'm just gonna have to live with it because I wanted to see if I could keep the cost down as much as possible and customize a little bit and get a really good controller. That's not to say that this isn't a great controller. I've just grown accustomed to having really nice grips on the back of controllers. This one feels like it's gonna fall out of my hands. A little bit more on these back paddles. They are removable. You just have to twist this here. One thing you're gonna wanna note and you're trying to figure out how to remove the AIM Back Pros is you got to push this little retention thing in, this retention spring type of plastic. I twisted it a little bit too hard and you can see that it kind of bent over itself. It's still holding this cover in place just fine, but just be aware that you push in on the bottom here and then you can twist it off easier. Each one of these paddles come out and you can see the back paddle registers as the buttons here. And if you didn't want to use any back paddles, use 3, use 1, use 2, or all 4. And that's a really nice feature of the AIM controller here. So let's go ahead and put these back in. They have these little actuators on the paddles, and then there's this guide that goes in the fitment part of it. And then you just rest these in place, and they're easily removable. Just remember to push or depress that little plastic clip retention thing there, and then you can twist off the cover. And each one of these fit into place easily and nicely. And it's pretty easy and quick to kind of remove the paddles thing, and then really responsive. One thing I want to talk to you about is the design of this new AIM Back Pro system by AimControllers on their custom DualSense controller. These redesigned paddles fit absolutely perfectly for my hands. I'm going to sit each one of my fingers naturally as they would on any controller. So I'm going to put this down really quick and show you. Here's a OEM DualSense controller. My fingers fit just like that. So as I bring this back, the DualSense AIM controller back paddle system is really nicely designed, and it's easily the best back button system that I've used on a custom DualSense controller. Each one of my fingers has a purpose. Each one of these triggers have a purpose, and I can actuate all of my face buttons here. So each one of these actuations has an individual purpose. One thing that I want to kind of show you is that with the Hex Gaming Ultimate controller, I kind of use my middle fingers to actuate these because they're towards the middle of the device, and I can use maybe my ring fingers here, but I usually just use my middle fingers to actuate both. So with the AIM controller system, I have dedicated inputs for each one of my fingers, and they fit and fall naturally with my hands. This is easily the best designed back paddle system that I've used, and that's something that is commendable, and that's something that I want you to recognize in my initial impressions of the AimController custom DualSense controller. All right, the final thing that I want to talk to you about is remapping these back paddles to custom buttons. The two things that you can't do with these is you can't remap these back paddles to R2 or L2 at all. Everything else is fair game. So to do this is that you hold down these two bottom back paddles for 5 seconds, and then after the 5 seconds, these two red buttons will start to blink slowly. That's telling you or notifying you that it is ready to remap. So the next thing you're gonna do is hold down the paddle that you're gonna wanna remap, press it, find the face button that you wanna remap it to, and then hold it, and then it'll blink quickly. That's to signify that it has been remapped. And then if after you go through all of that, you hold down these back paddles again for 5 seconds, then the controller is ready to go. I have the, the LEDs dimmed so I can save battery life, but you can see that it's ready to rock and roll. Though that has successfully been remapped. I really like how that is implemented with this controller. It's quick, you can do it on the fly. I wish they would lessen the time a little bit, but I understand why it is that they've done it that way. Maybe an item of feedback is to add a dedicated remap button, maybe below it that you can press and then it's quickly done. I will say remapping in-game quickly is kind of a cumbersome way to do it because it takes 5 seconds for it to be enabled and then another 5 seconds for it to record that. So this is just my initial unboxing and impressions of the AimControllers custom DualSense controller. I am really impressed so far, but this is in no way, shape, or form a full review because I haven't had enough time to put it through its paces. I will say that I would consider my recommendations on the thumbsticks. If you like shorter sticks that are, gonna last longer, I would say go with the OEM, not go with this, this custom pull off, change aim sticks type of thing. Cause I think it's just gonna add wear and tear to your controller that's unnecessary. If the whole base was removable, then that would be a different story, but it's not. On the back here, I would say get the rubberized grip. You're gonna thank yourself that you did. And also go with the AimBack Pros. Don't go with the older version of it because this is very consistent. It's phenomenally executed. I really like how they've done this controller. If you're interested in pricing and availability, I'll leave a link to AimControllers custom builder in the description of this video. I'm in no way, shape, or form affiliated with AimControllers. That link is just sharing over. I'm not getting anything from it. So go ahead and check it out if you're interested in this controller for the DualSense and PlayStation 5 that's compatible with PC as well. Before I close, I have nothing to disclose. I'm not affiliated with AimControllers. There are some affiliate links in the description of this video. Outside of that, I'm just gonna put this thing through its paces. Come back later when I've done the full review. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas and I'll catch you in the next one.